This week was one that left me a little bit unsatisfied. There was a lot that happened, and a lot of it was behind the scenes work. So I'll start with the physical shop work. I finally got back in the shop and worked on some scrap art pieces, so that was really cool. And that is kind of our creative outlet. And I know all of this is creative work, furniture and everything, but scrap art is one of those things that lets me kind of just use my mind a little bit to make something cool. And so I'm excited about the 4 pieces. They're going to get listed this coming week, and 3 of them are framed and 1 is ready to be framed. So those will be done this week for sure. I also, I did a bunch of social media work. So got posts out 6 of 7 days last week, which is the goal. That's what we'd like to do. We're going to take kind of one day where we don't post every week at least. And that's what we'd like to see every week. And so that's cool. That's just nice to actually meet that goal. And we're doing more of the voiceover content. That's been something that's kind of clicked with people from what I've seen. And I know I like that content better if it just has a little educational piece or something along with the video. And in the past, we've done a lot of videos that are just video and music, which is fun. And I'll still include music in the background, but it's kind of one of those things where I can share a little more insight into whatever I'm posting and actually tell you directly, like, here's why I'm posting this thing. That's also how we drive a lot of our sales if we're not going to in-person events, especially of the small items. So it definitely is another one of those creative things that we have to think, how can we show this in a way that's interesting to people and resonates with people? I tried a signal booster in our shop, and that's for the cell phone signal because it's a metal building and I can't get any signal in that space besides like right by the door. So that's kind of annoying, and it's been a struggle for me to keep updates posted to our stories and whatnot, just because with no signal, it's like I can initiate it and then it just glitches out, and I can't even then if it doesn't post in the moment, there'll be some error later and I can't get it posted. Or I take all the video in my camera roll and then I forget later on to post it, and then it's a day or 2 later and I see it and I'm like, well, this is maybe relevant, or sometimes it's not relevant and I can't even post it. So anyways, that's an ongoing problem, and maybe we pay for Wi-Fi there, or I'm not really sure. But currently I do the office work from home. I do the wood shop work at the wood shop, and I don't really need Wi-Fi there, not enough to pay for it. So we'll see. I got our monthly newsletter written and shared with, I think we have 30 some people subscribe to that. So thank you if you subscribe. And if you don't, I recommend you go over to our website and check that out. We are going to share monthly just updates and special deals for those people. I'd like to think that that's going to be a place where, you know, you get the first look at things. You kind of get an advanced look. This is another place, though, if you subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch these weekly updates. The monthly newsletter and the weekly YouTube updates are where we're going to share things first. So make sure you're on both of those. And then, well, I'll include this wrap up right now that I'm recording. This is another thing that takes up some time in every week, but I like to do because 1, it holds me accountable, and 2, it gives you a look at kind of what this all looks like. You know, it's not all just building in the shop. And I know I said that last week, but I can reiterate that again and again, is like, if there's content to be viewed, if there's marketing to go out, you know, whatever that looks like, that all plays in, and it's figuring out how much of that to fit into the schedule versus how much to be actually building in the shop. And the last thing I'll share about this week is I took a day off, mostly off. We actually brainstormed for a little bit on marketing, and I did a little bit of outreach but it was just a stressful day. It was feeling like everything's just piling and piling, and I'm not getting anywhere, turning my wheels and kind of like not sure what to tackle. And one of the nice things about having your own schedule is that when that happens, you can take a step away. And good employers do that, and not all employers do that. But if you are running your own gig, sometimes it's really good to step away, especially if you can come back the next day and be energized to get going. So I took a step away, did some work on the deck at our house, and just that kind of like more mindless tearing stuff up, as opposed to just constantly being like creative and thinking in your head. It's really helpful sometimes. So that's another thing I did, was kind of one of those days was just kind of a wash, and I'm taking that as a good thing. I didn't mention, actually, there are a few custom projects coming up that require, the process is usually we get an inquiry and we reach back to the person with a rough price, because usually that initial piece is like, okay, is the price of custom furniture, is that going to be something that's restricting or, isn't going to work out? And then if the conversation carries on, then it goes pretty deep into specifics. So then if we're in agreement that like we're close on budget or something, then we move forward and we give a detailed quote. We talk about wood type and design and size of whatever it is we're talking about. And then there's a lot of back and forth, and usually that process is a week to 2 weeks. And then, booking the project. And so we have a couple of those in talks right now. And then a bigger project that is kind of a longer term look, and then that milling job. So those are all like future prospects, along with the dining table that's on hold until those legs show up, along with all of our smaller projects and content. So there's a lot going into everything, and it just, when you look at 1 week, it's kind of just a small piece to the puzzle of that larger thing happening, the whole picture. So anyways, I'll stop rambling on this week, but that's what happened. And look out for the next one coming up next week, and all our short form content in the meantime. Have a great week.